Can you spot him? Little stowaway. He joined us when we were about 60 miles into our journey, and I think he'll stay now till the morning when we reach Sardinia. After we'd had our fridges regassed, we set off across the 150-mile wide gap between Sicily and Sardinia. This was how the journey started, sunny, idyllic and peaceful. It sadly didn't last. To make matters worse, the Fisher Panda house battery generator wouldn't start, and it seemed that the power to the starter battery had failed. I tried to charge it back up, but even with full power, the Jenny just wouldn't turn on. So we hobbled across the Tyrrhenian Sea to Sardinia, where we had to hide from another Mistral coming in. The wind wasn't helping, but at least the alternator from the engine kept some power in the house batteries. The smokehouse! My God, we could see the smoke from that for miles earlier. Well, this, boys and girls, is Cagliari, but it's just round the corner, so the main town is basically just over that hill there, or the main city, and this is basically just the other side of the hill, and it has got a lovely long beach that stretches almost as far as the eye can see. And because it's a bank holiday and it's also a Saint's Day, everybody's got the day off. So everybody's out partying, everybody is out having good fun. And we're going to have a look round. Using a hairdryer to blow the flames. I wonder how long that hairdryer is going to last. Well, as you all know by now, nothing lasts for more than 5 minutes on our boat. The fridge was definitely working since Sicily, but we had suddenly found out that our generator wasn't. Now normally this isn't an issue, but the high winds and the clouds were hampering our solar panels from charging up our batteries, and this meant we had to conserve energy whilst trying to find someone who could help us with a repair. However, Kenneth, who had met last year, and his friend Bjarni came to our rescue. Bjarni started by giving the engine a once over. And the alternator is as loose as hell. Already within a month we need a new fan belt, and the alternator is so loose it's crazy. So we can
tighten it up. Running no problem, but
yeah, but it needs a new fitting?
New bushings.
Bushings.
Yeah.
After checking the engine, he moved on to the generator. After diagnosing the starter issue, he took the starter motor to pieces, re-greased it by hand and replaced it. It took him a whole day, but it now works perfectly, so big thanks to Bjarni. Hookie decided to make Bjarni, Kenneth and their friends a nice meal just to say thank you very much. What are you looking at? Let's have a look.
Right, so before you go home, so I thought like so have a little drink and some snack together. So you go home today, huh?
When this is everyday stuff, we are not going.
We put on a firework display for them and then had to get moving once again because the wind and the bad weather were coming in fast. If you were a kite, wind or even wing surfer, the weather was perfect for you, and so the area we were anchored in here became very busy, with water sports enthusiasts of all abilities. However, for us, as fairly inexperienced sailors, 25 plus knots of wind on a passage of 235 miles wasn't something we wanted to endure, so we set off as soon as we could to get ahead of the incoming weather. So, cheerio Cagliari. On our way just round the headland here, there's a lovely little bay that we haven't got to see because we had to make repairs to the boat. Very kindly our friend Kenneth turned up with his friend and they managed, or Bjarni managed to fix the generator. But it turned out the starter motor didn't have any grease in it, so it wouldn't work properly. So he took it all apart, re-greased it, put it all back together, sorted out a whole heap of things on the boat, which was fantastic. And now we're back on our way. So we've been here for about 5 days, which has been very, very nice. Had a good look round. And now off to Portofino. Portofino?
Portofino.
Portofino.
We're catching the fish. Just slowly getting it in.
I didn't. It got away and took my lure with it.
Now we're in Spanish water.
We were told this is where the 15 to 20 knot wind was. But come what may, we couldn't get more than 12 knots of wind behind us, and this meant we spent most of the time in 8 to 9 knots motor sailing, whilst waiting to get a good breeze. Because unless we goose wing, 12 knots only gives us a dead wind speed of only about 5.5 knots, and I was just too impatient as I knew the big storm was coming from the north. Well, we're in this tiny little bay in Menorca, and the parts don't look very tight, but I tell you what, there's a lot of boats in here for the amount of space there is. I mean, there's a bit of a gap there. The problem is that's only about 1 metre deep. So is the space in front of our boat. So yeah, we've got boats fairly close to each other, all tucked away here, trying to get out the wind. A few boats have been moved on because they were in the way of the little channel here at the back of us. Oh, it's a shame I haven't got this on video. This boat here, I think it must have had about, I don't know, 5-6 attempts so far. 5 or 6 attempts to anchor. one with the blue stripe. And now he's right next to that other guy. I bet that other guy is not happy, because quite clearly his chain looks like it's over the chain of the other guy and right next to him. You can't even see the other boat next to him, he's that close. It all started when he very nearly hit the boat just behind him. So the white boat on the right of the picture. Oops, hang on. So it's quite blowy. So the white boat that he's just now going past, basically he nearly hit that foot. Where's his chain going? Look, he's dragging his chain out in front of that other boat, pulling right back, and now he's going to swing around that boat because the wind's going that way. And when he swings this way, he's going to now hit the back of his boat against the bloody boat. That's ridiculous. So he's just put his anchor right the way across the front of that other boat and dragged back, and he's now going to swing to wind, which means he's now going to possibly, oh, I don't know what he's going to do. Strange. As you can see by the rope in the foreground, we're turning as well, quite rapidly, as we do, because we're a cat. So the boat with the German flag, the one with the blue stripe, very nearly hit the boat just behind him, and he had to get his dinghy in the way to stop them colliding, and the horns were going off and everything else. That's what happens when you don't know what you're doing. No, still hasn't fixed it. He's now swinging right into that boat, so he's had to let more chain out. Now his chain goes underneath the other guy's boat and then in front of the other guy's boat. These people haven't got a clue what they're bloody well doing. What the hell are they up to? But now he's got a problem, because he's now going to swing into the boat behind him now, which is the boat he just nearly hit. Puck reminded me that anyone can have a mare of a day, as we also do. Too often sometimes. And they weren't the only ones.
Wow, that's very close.
As soon as the high winds had blown through and we'd had a look round Maha, we set off for Cala Galera. It turns out it was a sailing regatta the same day with some stunning boats.
Look at that.
Nice, isn't it? We were definitely the ugly duckling here, so we kept out the way and along the coast. Well, this is the lovely coast of Menorca, and we're just heading down from the capital to hopefully find a nice little anchorage. Look at how many birds are on the side there. I'm not sure you can see them, but tons and tons of birds. Overtaking in Fontainebleau, Austria, while somebody overtakes us in a speedboat. Fairly typical of all the islands really in the Med, all very rocky. Certainly Greece was like that, what we saw of it. Croatia was also like it, and Menorca was also like it. So this looks rather nice. It looks like it's got loads of little caves and coves that you can go and look round here. Menorca is actually, comes from the name mini island or small island because of its bigger brother Majorca, which means big island. Who knew that one? Menorca was a really pretty island actually. We really enjoyed going round. we're just heading round the south coast of Menorca. Round to where? Is it called, Puck? Cittadella. Going around towards Cittadella. And there's one of the famous lighthouses painted in, I'll probably call it black, but actually looks a very dark blue. I like all the coastline around here. Everything's pretty rocky. There's not many beaches, but all the white houses with the red roofs all look very nice. Start again. We're in Cittadella de Menorca. Cittadella de Menorca, which is basically the biggest, pretty much the biggest town on the north part of the island. Apparently it's a very nice town. When we look round, we'll have a look round later. And we're in a tight little anchorage. Doesn't seem that tight maybe on the camera, but that's probably about 40 metres away. And when you've got a 15-metre boat, that's not too far. And a boat behind us. And then got another boat kind of almost next to us, but just slightly behind us. Looks like they've gone into town already. And then another boat there, French one. Oh, it's a French one next to us actually. And finally we have a, don't know what next to us there as well. So we've got a couple of boats next to us there as well. So it's tightly compacted in because there's not much space between any of these rocks. Got an outer wall over there which is very nice for keeping the waves off us, hopefully. That'll be quite nice. And this is called Cala de Delegador, which is a bit of a mouthful. I don't know who named it, but yeah, we'll have a look in Cittadella a bit later. Show you around.
Going to explore Cittadella.
Yeah. Now you might be thinking, why don't we go into marinas more? Well, we did ask this marina, but they wanted over €450 a night, which we felt was a little extortionate, so we anchored round the corner and just went in. We really like Cittadella de Menorca and would definitely visit again. It was full of characterful buildings and really quite nice food in the restaurants. We stayed until late, but then in the morning we had to move on to the next island on our journey, which was Majorca. Now we're on a catamaran, but that's a catamaran. Got the pilot boat over there helping it out. Make sure it turns the corner. We gave it a head start so it didn't get embarrassed if we beat it, and then set off for Majorca ourselves. And from our boat into Porto Palenza. That's where it all happens, guys. This is it. All the way to Porto Palenza in Majorca for a Chinese restaurant. Quite relaxed. It's nice down here. Well, apart from the crying baby. It's quite relaxed down here and chilled out. Not too many people, not so many people that makes you go, oh my god, I can't move. You get that some places. Yeah, this is very nice. I like it. Maybe it was because it was the end of August, but we found Porto Palenza to be really nice. Yes, we did eat a Chinese meal, but it was average at best. Join us next time when we visit a bay I'd wanted to return to for over 20 years, and when we reach Spain proper and get more work done on our boat.